Yeah. So a quick review of what we have done in yesterday's class. So what we have done is we have considered a spring mass system where this is the spring in its unstretched length when it is occupying this position, and this mass has been pulled by the external force and it has been brought to this position which is at distance u0 towards right from the mean position where the spring was unstretched. Now as we have brought the mass towards right hand side, the spring is stretched by amount u0, and that instant of time we are going to refer it as t equal to 0. Origin is the unstretched condition of spring. So this is the origin. Whereas at time t equal to 0, when the observer started observing the motion, at that time, the mass was already occupying position u0 on the right hand side of mean position. And then we asked ourselves a question, what is the expectation? How will this mass go on changing its position with reference to time? And then we had some intuitions based on which I have drawn this plot. What is this plot about? It is the displacement of a mass with reference to the mean position versus time. This displacement will be treated positive if the mass is occupying any position on right hand side of the mean position, or in other words, whenever the spring is experiencing a stretch, we are going to have u of t positive. But whenever this mass is occupying a position on left hand side of the mean position, you are going to have negative value of displacement of a mass with reference to the mean position, and therefore we are going to have the fluctuating values of u of t between positive and negative signs. And what is the envelope? The maximum positive value is going to be plus u0, and maximum negative value is going to be slightly less than u0, which is u1. And then we expect that the oscillation of the mass should go on dampening, and ultimately it should come to the rest. So at some time, let us say t equal to t star, the mass would come to the rest. This is what is our expectation, and that's what we observe in reality. Do you agree with me? So I would like now one of you to unmute himself. So Vedant, can you unmute yourself? Vedant?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So till this point, do you agree with me? This is what is the expectation.
Yes, sir.
Then what we have done is, for any intermediate position of this mass, we have drawn a free body diagram, and to which we applied Newton's second law that gave us this second order differential equation mu double dot plus ku equal to 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes,
Vedant?
sir.
Yeah. Keep yourself unmuted, don't mute. At t equal to 0, to solve this differential equation, we need two boundary conditions. So what are the two boundary conditions? At t equal to 0, u of 0 is equal to u0, because at time t equal to 0, the mass was already occupying the position displaced by amount u0 towards right from the mean position or from the origin. Agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Similarly, at t equal to 0, when we remove that external force that kept the mass at distance u0 from mean position, when we removed the force, at that time, the mass had no velocity. So at time t equal to 0, u dot of 0 is u0 dot, which is in this particular case 0, because the particle or the mass has started from rest. Do you agree with
Yes,
me?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So then we solve this differential equation. Forget about the process that we use to solve the differential equation. That's blah, blah, blah. That is mathematics. That's okay. That is the job of a mathematician. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
But we are interested in the solution. So what is the solution that we got? We got u as c cos omega t plus d sin omega t. What is omega? So while coming to the solution, at various places we had this quantity root k by m. So for simplification of the appearance of the solution, we have substituted omega equal to root k by m. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So omega is just a substitution to root k by m, and the solution is u equal to c cos omega t plus d sin omega t. So u is time dependent. As time goes on changing, the value of u is going to go on changing. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And what is u, by the way? Keep track of that. U is the displacement of a mass with reference to the mean position. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now C and D are two constants that we need to evaluate. How are we going to evaluate them? By applying these two boundary conditions. Are you with me?
Yes.
Again, I am specifying, don't get carried away by the mathematics involved in it. Once we again go back to the stage of interpretation, it is going to be fun, believe me. So now U is equal to C cos omega t plus D sin omega t. Are you with me? And C and D are to be obtained using these two boundary conditions. Happy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us use first boundary condition. What is the first boundary condition? U of 0 is U0. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So in the expression for U, if I substitute t equal to 0, what happens to cos omega t? Cos omega t becomes cos of 0. Cos of 0 is 1. Do you agree?
1.
Yeah. So, so this first term becomes only c into 1. So that is c. When I
Yes.
substitute t equal to 0 here, sin omega t is going to vanish. It is going to be
Yes.
0. So
Yes.
therefore, d is going to vanish. So
Yes.
what do we get? We get u0 equal to c. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
What I have done, I have just substituted t equal to 0 in this expression, and on left hand side at t equal to 0, I know u is u0. So therefore,
Yes.
c equal to u0. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
So now c is evaluated in terms of known quantity. You know by what distance you had displaced the mass at the beginning. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So therefore, u0 is known quantity. C has been expressed in terms of known quantities. Now, are there any waiting members? Yes, there are. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, we have to now obtain D. So how do we obtain D? So we have to take second boundary condition. At t equal to 0, u dot of 0, that is velocity, is going to be 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
Or to make it generalized, I will not say it is 0. I will say it is u0 dot. But that u0 dot is known. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let us differentiate this. How do I differentiate this? What is the differentiation of c cos omega t? Won't it be minus c sin omega t?
Yes.
So you get minus omega sin omega t. So you get it as
Yes.
minus cw sin omega t as a first term. Do you agree?
Yes.
What
Yes.
is
Yes,
the
sir.
differentiation of second term? D
D omega
dot
cos omega
c
t.
omega cos omega t. So therefore, u dot we have got it as minus c omega sin omega t plus d omega cos omega t. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now, uh, u dot of 0 is u0 dot. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So u0 dot is equal to, in this expression, I am going to substitute t equal to 0. So what do I get? The first term is going to vanish. Second term is going to remain as d omega. Agreed?
Yes.
And this u dot of 0 is u0 dot, which is a known quantity. So therefore, d
Yes.
is equal to u0 dot upon omega.
Yes, sir.
Happy? So now we have got the solution in its entire we have got the entire description of the solution. So what is that? U equal to c is u0. So therefore, u0 cos omega t minus u0 dot by omega sin omega t. Happy?
Yes, sir.
As u0 dot is 0, the second term is going to vanish. It's all right. Happy?
Yes.
Okay, but this is the solution. Now what we are going to do is we are going to plot this solution. Let us plot it. Let us see how does the solution look like. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
That means how does the displacement of the mass from mean position vary as a function of time is our interest. I want to
Right.
plot it. So whenever I am into the plotting of the solution, I cannot live with the symbols. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
I have to specify the values. So I'm going to now specify the values. What are the values? I will specify m is equal to 10 kg. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
The moment I write that, you will start imagining. That's the power of numbers. Are you with me? You may feel little irritated by looking at the symbols, but once there is a value, you will try to relate it. So m is 10 kg. That means this is a 10 kg block. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Let us assign the value of K as 10 Newton per meter or 100 Newton per meter. Are you with me? Vedang, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what does that mean? If I have to displace this mass by 1 meter, I will have to apply the force of 100 Newton. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have M, I have K. What else is remaining? I must give you the value of U0. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So let us make it little more stiff. Instead of 100, I will say it is 1000. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So 1000 Newton per meter is the stiffness, let us say. And U0 is 50 mm. Happy?
Yes.
Now you should be careful. Somewhere I am specifying the unit of length as meter and somewhere I am specifying it as mm. So the onus of
Yes.
converting everything into a single system of unit is on you. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So m is known now, k is known, u0 is known. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. What else is required? Nothing. Now I can simply write down the solution. So it's like asking this question. If the 10 kg block is assigned to a spring of stiffness 1000 Newton per meter, if I displace this block towards right from its mean position by 50 mm and then I leave it, how does its deformation or how does its displacement or position varies with a function of time? Is the question that
Yes.
I'm asking. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And I have answer ready. What is the answer? U is equal to U as a function of time is equal to U0. That means 50. But I am now going to express it in meter. So if I have to express this in meter, it is going to be 0.05. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So 0.05 cos of omega t. Happy?
Yes.
Plus. No, not plus. Minus. If I am right.
Minus
बोलो.
omega
Minus.
dot.
हाँ माइनस बोलो अब क्या होगा.
Omega dot by U
हाँ
naught by
नो
W.
मेरा हैंडराइटिंग इतना खराब है क्या. सॉरी. लेट मी रीराइट दिस. It is not omega dot, it is u0 dot. Are you with me? Are you with me,
Sir.
Vedant?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So it is minus u0 dot by omega, happy, multiplied by sin omega t. Agreed? Vedant?
Yes, sir.
Is my voice breaking like yesterday?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so it is 0.05 cos omega t minus u0 dot upon omega sin omega t. But what is
Yes,
u0 dot? As the block has started from rest, therefore this value is 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes. Right.
So therefore u is equal to 0.05 cos omega t. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And what is the value of omega? Tell me. Omega is root k by m.
Yes.
What is the unit of k? What is the value of k? 10 Newton.
1000 Newton per meter.
1000 Newton per meter. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And what is the value of m? Tell me.
10 kg.
10 kg. चलो अब पहले तो यूनिट्स देखते हैं क्या होंगे इसके. सो इसका यूनिट क्या रहने वाला देखो मुझे. न्यूटन इज केजी मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
Mass into acceleration. So kg is unit of mass. Meter per second
Yes.
square is unit of acceleration. So kg meter
Yes.
per second square is Newton.
Yes.
को ऑलरेडी एक मीटर यहाँ पे बैठा हुआ है. Are you with me?
Yes.
इसके नीचे kg है. Do you agree?
Yes.
So kg cancels out with kg. M cancels out with m. And in square root sign, you have 1 upon s square. So what is the unit of this quantity? Unit of this quantity is 1 by s.
1 by S.
Do you agree?
Yes.
But we will not write it as 1 by s. Instead of that, we will say it is radian by s, because radian doesn't have any unit. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So whenever it is unitless, we can also call it as radian. Now why we are doing this I will tell you in a while, but it is radian per second. Are you with me? Vedang, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So radian per second, or for that matter per second, is unit of what? Tell me. This is unit of what?
Sir, radial acceleration.
No, radial acceleration is angular motion. Whenever it is circular motion, then we talk about the radial acceleration and all those things. No, radian per second or per second is the unit of what? Frequency. Don't you remember? This is frequency. This
Yes,
is
sir,
angular
frequency.
frequency. This is angular frequency. Are you with me?
Yes,
And this is frequency in hertz.
hertz.
Do you
Yes,
agree with me? हाँ, तो दोनों में से ये कौन सा फ्रीक्वेंसी है? तो ये एंगुलर फ्रीक्वेंसी है, रेडियन पर सेकंड वाला. हाउ डू वी प्रूव इट? आई एम गोइंग टू प्रूव इट इन अ व्हाइल. आर यू विथ मी?
okay. Yes,
हाँ, so ये रेडियन पर सेकंड है और हर्ट्ज. That this is the unit of frequency. So therefore, though I have written omega as root k by m, I understand that it is some kind of a frequency. Do you agree with me?
yes, sir.
What should we call this frequency as? What is the meaning of frequency in the context of the solution that we are going to answer? जरा देखो, we are building up our case. एक एक चीज समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Are you with me? We are not relying on
Yes.
only the answer that is given by mathematics. No.
Yes.
How does the solution given by mathematics improves my understanding of a physical phenomena is what is important to me as an engineer. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So root k by m. Now can you tell me what is the value of root k by m here? K is 1000 and this is 10 kg. Are you with me?
10. Yes.
Chalo, bolo. So how much is
So answer will be 10 radian per second.
Answer will be 10 radian per second. Are you with me?
Yes.
So I am going to substitute this value as 10 here. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. So as this answer we have got in hertz, let us discuss this radian per second little while later. Let us keep it in hertz. Are you with me? And then
Yes,
when
sir.
it is in hertz, I call that frequency as F. Are you with me?
Yes.
Instead of calling it as omega, let me call it as F. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So ये जो substitution हमने किया था ना, that substitution also
Yes.
no, let us keep it as it is. I was just thinking to use the standard notation, but let us keep it as it is. Let us keep it as it is. Whatever we have said. So now what is the value of omega? Omega is 10 radian per second. So what is
Yes.
the answer? Cos into 10.
10t.
Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So now can we plot this function?
Yes, sir. We can
Yes,
plot.
we can. So how do we plot this function? उसके लिए ही तो मैंने ये Excel open किया है. Are you with me? So are you able to see? Is everyone able to see my Excel? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So here I am going to write down P in seconds. Are you with me? And here I am going to write down U of T in meters. Unit क्या है इसका? मीटर है. Happy?
Meter. Yes.
I will go on incrementing T in terms of 0.01 seconds. Happy?
Okay.
And कहाँ तक जाऊंगा? I will go till, let us say, 20 seconds. देखो 20 seconds के भी थोड़ा सा आगे चला गया. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now at each of this time I want to find out what is U of T. So कैसे करना है? क्या expression है? 0.005. So I will write it here, 0.005. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This multiplied by क्या लिखो? cos of क्या लिखने वाला हूं मैं?
20.
हाँ, नाउ cos of omega into t, बट ये मुझे रेडियन में कंसीडर करना है, बिकॉज इफ यू लुक एट द यूनिट ऑफ दिस क्वांटिटी, इसका यूनिट है पर सेकंड, इसका यूनिट है सेकंड, सो पर सेकंड इनटू सेकंड इज यूनिटलेस. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Unitless.
यूनिटलेस मतलब रेडियन.
Radian. Yes.
सो cos, इसका ये जो नंबर मुझे लिखना है, दैट आई हैव टू राइट इट इन रेडियन, एंड व्हाट इज दैट नंबर? 10 into
10t.
t. Are you with me? So वो मैं
Yes.
लिखूंगा 10 into this t. But the point is, when I say cos of something, by default, Excel considers that something in degree. For example, can you tell me what is the value of cos 90? Zero,
0.
right? So जरा देखो यहाँ पे cos 90 मैंने अगर consider किया, no, it automatically takes it in radian. It doesn't take it in degree. Are you with me?
Yes.
सो एक्सेल में जो भी नंबर है उसका आपने कॉस या साइन लिया, तो ऑटोमेटिकली इट कंसीडर्स दैट नंबर not in degrees, into radians. So we are happy here, no issues. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to repeat this for all things, and I'm going to now plot this. How do I plot it? I will simply select these two columns, insert, scatter, and you're going to have this. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
So what kind of function it is? It is a cost function, cosine function. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And it started with 0.005, because that was the value of u when t was equal to 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And then the mass continues to oscillate. कितने टाइम तक ऑसिलेट हो रहा है बताओ? 20 सेकंड्स तक तो हो ही रहा है.
हाँ, उसके आगे भी थोड़ा सा.
उसके आगे भी होगा, क्योंकि cos of omega t is non decaying function. जरा देखो, it is not decaying function.
Yes, sir.
It will always, for eternity, any value of time you give, and it will keep on oscillating. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
What is cos theta? Cos theta fluctuates between what? Tell me. Plus minus 1. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
तो यहाँ पे cos theta plus minus 1 के बीच में फ्लक्चुएट हुआ, तो u की वैल्यू 0.005 प्लस एंड 0.005 माइनस, इसके बीच में फ्लक्चुएट होगी. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's what we are observing. The value fluctuates between plus 0.05 and minus 0.005. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And that is the attack on my intuition, straight away attack. क्योंकि सबसे पहली चीज मैंने बोली थी कि ये वैल्यू अगर u0 है, तो ये वैल्यू u0 से थोड़ी तो कम होगी. Are you with me? Vedant?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
then I
sir.
said that this peak will go on diminishing and finally it will come to rest. But what the hell is happening? Mathematical solution says something else. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what does mathematical solution say? Mathematical solution of this problem says, if you displace the mass by amount u0 and leave it till you die, it will keep on oscillating. Even after you die, it will keep on oscillating. Are you with me?
Right. Right. Yes.
And what the hell is that? It is not consistent with the experience that we have. Do you agree?
Yes. Yes, sir.
It's not inception where it will keep on rotating. No, it is going to stop. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is happening? So therefore, what we are saying is the mathematical model that we have written for this phenomena is incorrect, obviously. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So observation. The mathematical model does not capture the expectation and observation. If you perform this experiment in reality, this is what you are going to see. Happy?
Yes.
But mathematical model says otherwise. It says the mass will keep on oscillating about its mean position with maximum value of 0.005 meter and minimum value of 0.005 meter till eternity. Oh, so what is missing? Can you tell me what is missing in the mathematical model? Now comes the physics. ये तो mathematics हो गया.
Okay.
मैथमेटिक्स में जो बोला है आंखों पे पट्टी बांधकर अगर उसको एक्सेप्ट करोगे, then you are going to suffer. Tell me what is the catch?
So I think we are not considering the energy in the mathematical model.
No, we are considering energy तो consider कर रहे हैं, energy के बिना कोई equation होता ही नहीं.
Sir, are we considering that the surface is completely 100% frictionless? So you have to consider friction as well.
No, but even if there is no friction, imagine, can we do this experiment instead of having it this way? Can we have a mass attached to this spring? ऐसे कर सकते हैं कि नहीं? Are you
Yes.
with me? And then you pull it by some amount and leave it. This mathematical model will tell that it will keep on oscillating like this forever.
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
Yes.
यहाँ तो का फ्रिक्शन का कोई सवाल है नहीं है. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is the catch? Can anyone tell me what is the catch? Achha, are there anyone waiting in the classroom? No. Yeah, tell me. चलो कौन कौन है आज इसी बहाने से बात हो जाएगी. वैभव, कैन यू अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ? वैभव शिरसाट.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think?
Sir, damping.
Excellent. So why didn't you speak? So he says damping is the catch. So what is damping? तो आप जरा यहाँ पे देखो. In any real system, there is going to be the loss of energy in the form of heat and sound. Do you agree with me, Vedant? Vedant,
Yes,
can
sir.
you-
Damping is, yes, sir, damping is going to be there.
Yes. So therefore, what we are missing is in this model, we are missing energy. तो model किया है, लेकिन the loss of energy has not been modeled. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
So therefore, we have to model the loss of energy. And how do we model the loss of energy? We model the loss of energy in the form of damping. Are you with me?
Right, sir.
So what is the damping? So damping को mathematically define करने से पहले let us try to understand it physically. What is damping? तो आपने बहुत सारे ऐसे doors देखे होंगे कि जिसको ऊपर एक damper लगाया रहता है. So if you open that door, it automatically closes after some time. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
हाँ. तो what is damping? तो damping मतलब any mechanism that accounts for the loss of energy while the structure is vibrating. Happy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the simplest form of damping? The simplest form of damping in which the energy can be assumed to be lost to the atmosphere is called as something called as viscous damping. Are you
Yes,
with me?
sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
tell me what is viscosity? You must have done that in fluid mechanics. What is viscosity?
The resistance to flow.
हाँ, so ideal fluid वैसे देखा जाए तो उसमें कोई भी shear stresses develop नहीं होने चाहिए. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Ideal fluid doesn't have any shear stresses developed anywhere in its volume. But the fluids that we encounter are not ideal, at least in some range of pressures. They are and temperatures. They are not ideal. Do you agree with me?
Right. Yes, sir. I agree.
So they have a property called as viscosity. What is so viscosity के वजह से क्या होता है? There are shear stresses induced in the fluid. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what is viscous damping? So we are going to perform a thought experiment. You have a jar filled with a water. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And you are going to throw a small stone into it. Do you agree with me? Are you able to
Yes, sir.
imagine the experiment?
Yes, yes.
So as the stone moves down, will it accelerate? At least for initial time. Tell me, will it accelerate? It is moving under the gravity, so it is going to accelerate. Do you agree with me?
Yes, yes, yes.
As it accelerates, its velocity goes on increasing. Happy?
Yes.
Now, the very definition of viscosity or the viscous resistance force that is offered will go on increasing as the velocity increases. Do you agree with me?
Right.
So velocity जैसे बढ़ते जाता है वैसे इस मास के ऊपर और इस स्टोन के ऊपर जो ड्रैग ऑफर होगा, ड्रैग फोर्स, देयर आर टू फोर्स, वन इज फोर्सेस, वन इज ड्रैग एंड अनदर इज लिफ्ट. द फोर्स इन द
Right.
डायरेक्शन ऑफ द मोशन इज ड्रैग. तो ये ड्रैग फोर्स किसको प्रोपोर्शनल है? इट इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू द वेलोसिटी. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
So as the velocity goes on increasing, the damping force also goes on increasing. Now in this viscous damping model, what we assume is the damping force. I'm going to call it as V damping. We
Yes, sir.
assume that it is proportional to the velocity. Therefore, it is called as viscous damping. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is the simplest model of damping? Simplest model, mathematical model of damping is this. We assume that the damping force is directly proportional to the velocity of the object. Are you with me?
Yes.
Velocity of the object. And it will always act in the direction opposite to the velocity. Happy?
Yes, sir.
That's what we assume. This is damping force. तो ये अगर damping force है, so what is the proportionality constant? That proportionality constant is denoted by C. And I write damping force, F damping, happy,
Yes.
is equal to C times velocity of the object. But what is velocity of the object? Is it U dot?
Yes, sir.
In our notation, it is U dot. So therefore, damping force is C times U dot. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
Magnitude wise, damping force is C times U dot. C is called as damping coefficient.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Damping coefficient. Chalo. So let us try to model damping here. So how do we acknowledge the presence of a damper? By the way, as this system doesn't have a damper, we call this system as undamped system. Are you with me?
Yes.
So we call it as undamped system, which is mostly a imagination. ऐसे system तो world में होता नहीं. As there are few exceptions, but otherwise none of the system can be undamped. It is just an academic exercise where you build your case, you build your understanding of dynamics. Therefore, सबसे पहले हम solve करते हैं problem कौन सा? Undamped system. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And now we are going to consider a system where we acknowledge that there is going to be the loss of energy as the structure or as the block keeps on vibrating about its mean position. And that acknowledgement is shown in this format. We will say that this mass has spring element K and damper, viscous damper C connected to it. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
अब जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. What does this K stands for? What does this K stand for? K stands for the stiffness of the spring. The only property that gives indication of how much spring force will be there acting on block M is its stiffness. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. अब जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. If I say that at a given instant of time t equal to t star, let us say t equal to t star is the time instant. T star can be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, anything. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
If this left hand side support also moves by, as it is a support, I will call its displacement as US, displacement of the support. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
तो ये सपोर्ट यहाँ होना चाहिए था, लेकिन at time t equal to t star it has moved to some other location such that this distance is US. Are you with me?
Okay. Yes.
And this mass also has moved by the distance u of t star. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
It is not u into t star. T star is the argument of the function. U is a function of time. So
Yes.
u of t star. Are you with me?
Yes.
अब जरा मुझे आप बताओ कि ये स्प्रिंग में फोर्स कितना होगा at this instant? What will be the force in the spring? I'm sorry.
K into U of T star minus US.
Excellent. So relative stretch or relative displacement between the support and mass, that is what is going to matter. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So it is going to be K of U minus US. Happy?
Yes, sir.
K into U minus US. This is going to be the spring force. On similar lines, what can be the damping force? Can you tell me? It is C into U dot minus US dot,
US
where
dot.
U dot is the velocity of support, is the velocity of mass at time t star, and US dot is the velocity of the support motion at time t star. Are you with me?
Yes.
So
Yes,
C
sir.
multiplied by this is going to be the damping force. I just gave this, I just showed this because it is not always required that the support is stationary. You can imagine in case of earthquake, support is not stationary. Are you with me?
Yes.
The ground itself moves on which the structures are supported. So in that case, what we are interested is in the relative displacement of the mass with reference to the support, or
Right.
relative velocity of the mass with reference to the support. But when support is firm, in that case, the relative velocity becomes absolute velocity because the support doesn't have any velocity. Are you with me?
Yes.
So we are going to start with the easier case. So forget about all this. But for completeness, I have told you this. Happy? Now, अब जरा मुझे आप बताओ, ये अगर situation है, तो can you now draw the free body diagram of this mass at time t equal to t star? Can we draw its free body diagram? Tell me, what are the forces that act on this mass? And let us say the mass is moving in positive direction.
Yes.
It is moving in positive direction. So how does kx act? Tell me.
On the left hand side.
In this direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
It is going to be k into u of t star. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Mind you, it
Yes.
is not u into t star. It is u of t star. At time
Yes.
t
Yes.
equal to t star, whatever is the displacement of mass from its mean position, that is u. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Then you are going to have damping force. And what is damping force? It is going to be C into u dot of t star.
T star. Yes.
Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Chalo. And what else do you have? What else do you have?
We
Nothing.
have
We
the
have to slowly
self-weight
accelerate.
and
As it is moving in positive x direction, we also assume that it has an acceleration in positive x direction. I am going to call that acceleration as u double dot of t star. Do you agree
yes.
with me? And on this free body diagram of the mass at t star, apply Newton's second law. Are you with me?
Yes.
So let us apply Newton's second law. So how does Newton's second law apply here? Chalo, let me write down. बोलो. इसका mass है m. So algebraic sum of all the forces in x direction must be equal to mass into acceleration in x direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
This is x direction. So what is algebraic sum of all forces? Minus ku. And now I am going to drop t star. Argument, I am going to drop it. Minus ku, where u is a function of time. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes.
Minus cu dot, where u dot is also a function of time.
Yes.
Happy? This must be equal to, tell me, what should it be equal to? Mass into u double dot of t.
Yes.
But I'm not going to write t star. So it is u double dot. U double dot also is a function of time. Are you with me?
Yes.
So what is the equation that I get? If I send both these terms on the right hand side, I get the expression mu double dot plus cu dot. Do you agree with me? Plus ku
Yes, sir.
equal to 0.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. So what kind of differential equation it is? It is same type of differential equation as the first one was. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Only one term in the first derivative of u has been added,
Yes, sir.
and that is cu dot. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is called as equation of motion for damped system. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Damped system. I have not yet tossed the term something called as single degree of freedom system, but these all equations we are deriving it for single degree of freedom system. How is it related to the structures that you see outside? That also, that correlation also we are going to have, but at least in first few lectures हमारा थोड़ा सा ख्याली पुलाव चल रहा है. मतलब we are taking an example which you may not be able to relate it directly to the existing structures, but soon we will see that how the existing structures can be modeled using these concepts. Are you with me? You have to keep some patience. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is called as damped system. How many boundary conditions are required to solve this system? Tell me. What is the degree of equation? What is the order of equation? I'm sorry.
The order is 2 because acceleration is a double derivative.
Correct. So if order is 2, you are going to require how many conditions to solve for it?
2.
2 boundary conditions are going to be required. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And when the equation is in terms of time, sometimes boundary conditions are also referred as initial conditions. Are you with me?
Sir.
So we can also call it as initial conditions. So what are these two conditions? Can you tell me? So u of 0 is u0
Yes.
and u dot of 0, that is velocity at time t equal to 0, is u0 dot.
Yes.
These are the two boundary conditions that we know, and with we are going to find out u as a function of time in terms of this boundary condition, in terms of u0 dot and u0. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So what is there in the next class? In next class we are going to solve this equation for sure, and we are going to plot its solution on the solution that we just now plotted. ये जो सॉल्यूशन हमने प्लॉट किया है ना, यही प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे. इसमें सिर्फ एक एडिशनल टर्म होगा, कौन सा? cu डॉट. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
अगर आप सॉल्यूशंस को एक दूसरे से कंपेयर करके नहीं देखते तो देयर इज नो इनसाइट दैट यू डेवलप. यू जस्ट डेवलप द एबिलिटी टू सॉल्व द इक्वेशंस मैथमेटिकली. समझ में आ रहा है? सो आई एम गोइंग टू प्रिजर्व दिस वर्कबुक. इस वर्कबुक को मैं प्रिजर्व करूंगा एंड आई विल गो ऑन एडिंग थिंग्स इन दिस. इसमें मैं बहुत सारी चीजें ऐड करने वाला हूं हर एक क्लास में. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
So I will just preserve this workbook in your directory. So let me see, where is SD? Yes. And I will share this with you as and when I feel that we have reached a milestone. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in tomorrow's class, what are we going to do? We are going to solve this differential equation with the same values of m and k. We will introduce some value of c. We will see. And then we will go on varying the value of c and we will see the effect on the solution. Happy?
Yes, sir.
That's what we are going to do. We are going to plot all the solutions for various values of c on this same solution. And then we will see how damping works. How
Yes,
damping
sir.
makes the system to come to the rest. Happy?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, that's what we are going to do in next class. But before we close for today, there are few more observations that we need to make on this solution. तो वो पहले कर लेते हैं. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा. When the system is oscillating, is there any external force acting on the system? Tell me.
Sir, there could be an initial force which is
That's removed.
Only-
No, that is removed. When you remove that force, then only the oscillation starts. Do you agree with me?
then besides that only the weight of the body acting on the body.
But weight of the body is acting in which direction?
Y direction.
Perpendicular to the motion of the object.
Yes.
Also, let me rephrase my question. Is there any force or its component acting in the direction of motion during the vibration of mass?
No.
External, is for system ko external. We know that there is spring force. We know that there is a inertial force. But all these are internal to the system. I am talking about any external force. Is it acting?
No, sir.
No. So if there is no external force acting on a system considered as a whole body, and still the system is vibrating and we are analyzing that vibration, we call it as free vibration. Are you with me?
Yes.
Free vibration. So what is free vibration? तो आप सिस्टम का वाइब्रेशन एनालाइज कर रहे हो, you have displaced the system from its mean position and you have just left it. There is no external force acting now on the system. The system keeps on vibrating on account of its inherent properties. The study of that vibration is called as free vibration. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
As against, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे टाइम डिपेंडेंट फोर्स लगा के रखा होता, so let us say I have applied a force which is a function of time, वो लगा के रखा है, and I am observing the vibration of the system, then that is called as forced vibration. Are you with
Yes,
me?
sir.
So have you understood what is free vibration and forced vibration?
Yes.
I am not writing the word forced vibration right now because we are still dealing with the free vibration. In both the cases, whether it is damped or undamped, we are dealing with the initial disturbance. We are giving the initial disturbance and then let system do whatever it wants to do on its own. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So ऐसे vibration को हम बोलते हैं free vibration. And if I am not considering the energy dissipation, or if I am not considering the loss of energy as the system vibrates, then it is free and undamped vibration. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we have dealt with the solution of free and undamped vibration. And we are going to deal with the solution of a system where damping is there, but the vibration is still free. There is no external force. So we are going
Yes.
to deal with now free and damped vibrations. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is next in line. So this is the terminology that I wanted all of you to know. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Can you give me the example of free vibration that you experience in your day-to-day life? Give me the example. Bolo. What is the example? Acha, just hit on table and leave it. Is the system exhibiting free vibration? Yes. You may not see that it is keeping on vibrating for a long time because the damping is very large. It almost instantaneously comes to rest. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
But it is essentially a free vibration. Now imagine that a child is sitting on a swing. You pull him back and you leave him. उसके पैर तो नीचे जमीन तक नहीं जा रहे हैं. And you are
Yes.
also not applying the force later on. So क्या होने
Yes.
वाला है? He or she will keep on oscillating about the mean position till finally he or she comes to rest,
Yes.
or till the time he or she cries, whichever happens first. But what I am trying
Yes.
to
Yes.
say, it is the system, it is a free vibration. Are you with me?
Right. Right.
Okay. Is there any other example of free vibration that you experience in day-to-day life? Okay, so now keep this eye. Look at the various things that you do in your routine life and come up with the examples where you experience free vibration in the next class. Is the exercise. Are you with me?
Okay, sir.
I am not talking about undamped vibration. Everything in reality is going to be damped. Undamped is the fictitious case which we solve for gaining some understanding of the problem. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is the first thing for which we found out the solution is called as free undamped vibration. I want you to observe one more thing here. ये वैल्यू 0 को 0.005 है. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
I want to know at what time after 0 the value again becomes 0.005. Happy?
Yes.
So can we search that? Yes. Let us go ahead and let us search it when it becomes again 0.05. Here 0.63. Are you with me?
Yes.
So the value has become 0.05 after time 0.63. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
Are you with me? Acha, when is the next time when it becomes 0.005? Can you tell me? Can you guess?
Sir, so basically it will be somewhere around 1.2 somewhere,
1.26.
1.26.
सही है ना? 63 टू जा कितना होता है?
Yes, yes,
1.2.
1.26.
So let us check. Yes. Agreed?
Yes.
So I want to ask you, what is the period of this signal? अगर इसको हम सिग्नल के भाषा में बोले, मतलब ये तो है आउटपुट. This is how the mass is exhibiting its position change as the time evolves. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
देखो, अब कहने के कितने तरीके हो सकते हैं, जरा देखो. Tell me, at a given instant of time, can the object occupy more than one position?
No.
No. So therefore, वैसे देखा जाए तो ये कर्व तो मैंने बनाया है, but none of the points on this curve are realizations of the position at a given instant of time. No. At a given instant of time, it will be only at one location. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So ये जो कर्व है, इसके ऊपर के सारे points, they are happening at unique time, and after that you are going to have some different value of u. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So can I say that this displacement time history is evolving in time?
Yes.
Okay, that is the first point that I want to make. Second point, what is the time period after which the system reaches to its initial disturbed condition? फिर से वहां पे कब आता है? After 0.63 seconds. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And after each 0.63 seconds, you are going to observe the same thing. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So इसको अगर मैं बोलता हूँ कि ये सिग्नल है, instead of saying that it is some physical quantity, if I observe it as a signal, in electrical engineering, electronics engineering, do we define something called as period of the signal? Do
Yes,
you
sir.
agree? So what is the period of a signal? If there are repeating parts of the signal. If the signal repeats itself after certain time, then we call the minimum time after which the signal replicates itself as its period. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
फिर से एक बार ये डेफिनेशन जरा ठीक तरह से बताता हूँ. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देखो, अगर ये सिग्नल है ऐसे वाला, आर यू विथ मी? है नहीं, है ना? I have not drawn it symmetric about the x-axis, but it is symmetric, you assume. So I can say that the signal repeats itself after this portion. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
मतलब अगर ये पोर्शन उठा के मैं इसके आगे वाले पोर्शन पे रखूं तो आई एम गोइंग टू गेट द सेम वेरिएशन. हैप्पी?
Yes, sir.
पर मैं ये भी तो कह सकता हूं कि ये जो सिग्नल है, ये यहां से यहां तक का पार्ट अगर मैंने कंसीडर किया, आई कट दैट पार्ट एंड आई पेस्ट इट अहेड, इट इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू रिपीट इटसेल्फ. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes. Yes.
तो ऐसे नहीं, द स्मॉलेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द सिग्नल दैट रिपीट इटसेल्फ टू प्रोड्यूस द एंटायर सिग्नल, वो जो स्मॉलेस्ट पार्ट है उसके लिए जो टाइम लगा उसको हम पीरियड बोलते हैं. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I hope now the definition of period of a signal which is repeating signal is clear. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So हमें तो ये समझ में आया कि इस सिग्नल का पीरियड कितना है. इसका पीरियड है 0.63. So can you tell me what is the frequency of this signal? Frequency is inverse of period. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Period is in seconds.
Yes.
What is frequency? Frequency is in per second. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
1 upon second. Tell me what will be the answer. 1 upon
1 upon 0.63.
0.63. So how much is that? 1.5 seconds. Do you agree with me? 1.5
Yes, sir.
hertz. This is in hertz. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
तो आप जरा ध्यान से देखो. The frequency of this signal is 1.5873 hertz. इसका मतलब क्या है? You will have 1.5873 cycles per second. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So if I ask you in 10,000 seconds, how many cycles would this signal complete? 15,873. Do you agree
Yes,
with
sir.
me? So in 10,000 seconds, you are going to have 15,873 cycles of the smallest part that can be repeated itself as a signal. I hope
Yes,
I am
sir.
making my point is clear. Now, if I divide this by 2 pi, what do I get? 2
Fine.
pi. So 2 pi से divide किया तो क्या मिलता है? Okay, we will do that thing little later. हाँ, ये तो यहाँ तक समझ में आया आपको फ्रीक्वेंसी तक? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
अब जरा एक लास्ट एक्सरसाइज करते हैं and then we will stop today. Last exercise. Let us say if I change the value of u0 की वैल्यू ही चेंज कर देता हूँ. हाँ, so u0 को 50 mm के जगह मैं कर देता हूँ u0 now is 100 mm. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
What is going to change in the solution? 0.05 will now become 0.1. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
And this will remain cos omega t. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So the solution will be u equal to 0.1 cos of 10t.
Yes, sir.
Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me? हाँ, तो अब जरा देखो ये सॉल्यूशन मैं यहाँ पे प्लॉट करता हूँ इसके ही साथ सामने. व्हाट इज द सॉल्यूशन? दूसरा वाला सॉल्यूशन क्या है? u of t. But when I change the value of u0, happy? देखो इसके सामने ही ये प्लॉट करने वाला हूँ सॉल्यूशन. I think it is 0.01. Am I right, Vedant?
Yes, sir.
Then 0.01. I'm sorry. And then let me repeat it. And let me plot this on this series itself. So, sorry, select the data, add data series. In this, I'm going to add this time.
Sir, actually, it should be 0.1 because it is 100 mm.
And the earlier one, it should be 0.05 then.
Yes, sir, because it was 50 mm.
So it is not 0. We have taken it as 0.05.
Yes, yes.
No, it's correct. It is 50 multiplied by
This is
1000.
correct. So this is
नहीं,
correct.
नहीं,
That should be 0.1.
no. लिखते समय हमारी गड़बड़ हो गई. यहाँ पे 0.05 लिखा ना हमने. Or
Right,
was that
right.
correct? No, that was not. तो यहाँ पे 0.05 चाहिए, right?
Yes, and this should be 0.1.
And this should be 0.1. I will change that. No issues.
Yes.
Let me first plot both the things. So let me plot it. So here it should have been 0.05, right? 0.05, that's correct.
Yes.
And here it should have been 0.1.
Yes.
So I have changed that. So what is your observation? Tell me. Does period of the signal change?
No.
No. But does the amplitude change?
Yes.
Yes. So interesting observation. Whether you pull the mass by 10 mm, 50 mm, 80 mm, the period is not going to change. It is going to vibrate at a particular frequency. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And therefore we call this frequency as fundamental or natural fundamental period or fundamental frequency, natural period or natural frequency. Irrespective of by whatever amount you pull and leave it back, it is going to vibrate with the same period. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
One more observation that we made, how it is the most important observation as far as structural dynamics is concerned, that we will soon understand, but आज के लिए इतना ही काफी. So कल का ट्रेलर क्या है? We are going to solve for damped system. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So free vibration of damped system is what we have on our plate in next class. So with this I will stop recording for today's class. अगर किसी को कोई डाउट है तो अभी पूछो. Otherwise, you can leave the class by typing your PRN number and name in the chat box.